We got the support from the Kenyan government. This was the push started from the previous government and getting the distributors into local assembly. And when you're assembling locally, definitely there are advantage to that. The number one is local employment. Okay, so you contribute into the employment into the country. And number two is basically to be able to make this product more affordable, because the incentive that we get from government is that there's a tax rebate to that, and the government expects us to pass on that to the end user, who's a customer. So I'll talk about those two. And obviously, when we do that, the bottom line is a greater contribution to the development and the economy of Kenya as a country. When you talk about inflation, and obviously that does not spare everybody, I mean anybody, we are all victim to that. But our aim is to try and continue making the product, cut down on your margins wherever you can cut, but still making the product more competitive. If you look at our prices with what we were selling these trucks a year ago, 2 years ago, there isn't much of the difference. Yet it's there, but it's also our responsibility to make sure that we still remain competitive and making sure that the end user still benefits. Well, the standards required, we follow what are the regulations in the country. And what we're launching today is a Euro 3, but I'm also happy to inform you that from January 2023, the country is moving into Euro 4. And Euro 4, when we talk about these Euros, it's more about emission. And for us to get to Euro 4, there are also requirements of the fuel suppliers. So this is about giving us cleaner fuel. So moving to Euro 4, it will ensure that the fuel suppliers, the Total and the Vivo, so as other companies, to give us a much cleaner fuel for us to be able to bring those higher standards. In a nutshell, what I can tell you, looking at 2023, before we get to 2023, let's look at what we started 2 weeks ago. I'm sure you came and witnessed the T-Cross, which was a new product, the new segment in Kenya. And since we launched the T-Cross 2 weeks ago, the market loves the product. And we are able to sell as per the expectations of DTW. And today you are witnessing the launch of the locally assembled, the Beast, as I love to call it. Going forward in 2023, there is more of the good news that you will see from DTW as a mobility solution for you. In DTW, we talk about mobility. Customers are looking for moving from A to B, and that solution is what we have, from a smaller to the bigger segment. So please, all I would say to you is watch this space for 2023. How cheaper it is. Obviously, when you import, there's a tax implication. The only difference between, for today, the incentive we have for producing locally, it's a tax rebate. I mean, that's, you're talking about pricing, the cost of doing that, yes. And obviously, I mean, I told you that it's better for us as a country to build locally because we contributing to employment, direct and indirect, okay? And it's a proudly Kenyan product, you know? Like I love to say, it's by Kenyan and for product. So it's much of a good news. Well, we started in May. The first unit came out in May. And we've done so far what we've produced, we've done about 40 units that came out.
Of the trucks.
Yes,
And
from May. Remember, um, we had to go through the test and the audits and all that, so that whole process. So when you reach about 40, everything is okay. So we are ready now to go out in mass volume for the market. The truck today, it goes for 16.6 million. 16.6, 1.6.